All right, y'all. Welcome to the Rooted and Rising podcast with
Buddha
and Aqua.
and we are Lunar Waves.
Yes.
Co-founders of Lunar Waves.
Co-founders of Lunar Waves. What the fuck is Lunar Waves?
Lunar Waves is our business baby.
Yes.
You want to talk about that word of how our business baby came into flourishing?
Absolutely. So our baby was in the womb for about 3 years.
Can you imagine?
We're taking our time creating this baby. Making sure the nose, the eyes, the ears, everything's perfect. She was finally born in April.
Yes.
And we welcomed her with a manifestation little workshop.
We did. It was our soft launch. And what the workshop looked like was we did a vision board party.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a nice vision board? And we had a very intimate outcome. A lot of family, friends, and some. From what they told us, they had a really good time.
We had a great time. We had nothing but positive comments, and even afterwards, I feel like it definitely helped people kind of get into that more inspirational energy, more of that manifestation energy.
I agree.
For that time of year.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And now we're here at a different time of the year. And we welcomed in the spring, summer. Now we're welcoming in the fall.
Absolutely. I see what you did there.
You see what we did?
Yes. See what God did.
Look what God did. But on a serious note, so the podcast was really good timing, especially because when we started our soft launch, we were in the same city.
Correct. Now somebody done left me.
Never left you. Always here in spirit. Only a phone call away.
That's true. That's true. You pulled up on me today.
Definitely. Just that's how I show my love. But
So how's New City Life been treating you? You've been there for maybe like 3 months now?
Yes, 3 months,
Yeah.
4.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it. It was definitely a good realignment. It's been medicine. It can be intimidating going to a new place, but this is also my second time relocating and just taking a big jump, just with an additional person this time, which is very safe,
Yes.
very, very nice.
Which makes all the difference because besides him, you don't know what's over there.
Right. Yeah. But
You walking it so well though. Yes. My girl got a different interview every day, y'all. Stay with the interview. She had somebody call her earlier today. Like, my girl always got an interview. So I'm glad to see you doing well. And she also just got licensed social work. Yes.
I think we should talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So, professionally, I am a therapist along with Reiki healer.
Yes, certified Reiki practitioner. We did that together.
We did. That was a part of the loading of our baby.
Yes.
The Reiki certification. I'm also I'm a very big friend and family oriented person. So it's kind of my personality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She knows she's wanted to be a therapist since she was like middle school.
Yes.
Like, kid you not.
I was
To see it come full circle and her really manifesting her vision from literally a book is amazing to witness. We've been friends since what, 4th grade?
Yes, 10 years old.
Yes, 10 years old.
Literally living this in the decade.
Yes. Again, God did, because I would never have thought we would have had something like this out of our friendship.
Absolutely not. Not us.
Right. We're just literally bullshit.
We could do that. And we did it. Okay.
We did it.
Check.
Yes.
Professionally, what is your background?
So my background and my experience is a little mixed up. I went to college for science. I have a bachelor's in biology, so I love science at heart. When I graduated, I did a little bit of work with the youth. I worked in after school programs. I worked in the schools. I did wraparound services in Philly. And I just left education probably like 6 months ago now.
Yeah.
And I got let go, but I will say I feel like I took that very well, and I kind of saw it as God removing me from something that was no longer serving me.
Right.
I gave a lot of years, I feel like, to education. I feel like I gave a lot of my heart to education, and I feel like now it's time to finally bask in my purpose more in
I mean,
Cause I still be feeling lost. Like she said, I'm very new to entrepreneurship. I have my own business on the side. I call it Aqua Healing, where I do pretty much same line of work that we do together. Holistic wellness. You know, I do Reiki, but I also do the herbs, the supplements, some coaching, all that good stuff. So we are just, I feel like walking and basking in our purpose that much more. And I love that for us. As 30-year-old Black women from Syracuse, New York.
Yes. Big ups to upstate New York.
Shout outs to upstate New York. Shout outs to the Orange Man.
Yes. Not the Orange Man. But you know. Support.
Right.
So speaking of the alignment in our decades of friendship and as far as like lunar waves are working in our podcast, what brings us here? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. What we got for these people today? What we got for y'all today?
So again, with our fall season, we're thinking about the theme being declutter.
Decluttering. Look around. Where are you right now? If you're at home, look around that room. Look around that living room.
No judgment.
No judgment.
But you know.
Cause you saw my room earlier.
Yeah. You don't want to be mine. It's not as cluttered.
She told y'all.
It's not as cluttered only because there's another person there. But if it was just me.
So yes, this is a way for kind of to get jump started with, you know, we always do spring cleaning, but we should also be doing the autumn cleaning as well.
Absolutely. I think that is a discussion that we don't highlight enough in life in general, like not just on social media, but just in our personal life. With the weather changing, we change. With the weather changing, our body changes. Like our immune system really like alley-oop.
You got kids in school?
Yes.
You already know. If you're a teacher, you already know.
Anybody that works with kids?
Yes.
They're walking germs.
Someone say debatable.
It's almost debatable. Wow.
I love kids. We love
Yes,
kids.
they're all beautiful in their own way.
In their own way. That's like saying you got a nice personality.
Kids got the best personality. They're the closest to God.
Say louder for the people in the back. Kids are the closest thing to God.
Yeah, they're my
I live by that. Yeah.
little humans.
Yeah.
If you want to hear something honest, if you want to hear something made simplistic, the little humans got you.
Hello.
Along with a cold.
Yes. So with that being said, though, right? Decluttering helps. Same thing with the cold, right? A lot of times us getting sick is because of that stagnant energy.
Yes.
We talk about that a lot as Reiki practitioners, right? Breaking up that stagnant energy that's in your chakras. But the same thing is true for your homes, right? That I'm trying to think. For me, it's probably my altar, which I'm ashamed to say.
Yeah.
But my altar right now is holding a lot of stagnant energy because it hasn't had a lot of renewal, right? I haven't been putting fresh blood in there for my ancestors. I haven't been, dusting it off and cleaning it off. So that's a simple example that I can give for you guys.
Yes, when we were talking about
Yes.
our altar. Speaking of the altar, one thing when I think about my altar always is stacked with some Palo Santo. And my friend is lighting some
Trying to light
sage.
the stage for her.
The vibe going. So, how does that have anything to do with declutter? Funny you ask. I have an answer. So, when we are saving and Palo Santo our home, it is a reset in itself as far as that energy. But this is what it looks like. Lit. I wish you could smell the aroma. I love the aroma of it. So when we smudge, we want to start at the beginning of the home if we're welcoming energy, or we want to start in the back of the home. Make sure you get in the closet, make sure you get in those spaces. Also, make sure you open a window or a door, because again, we do not want that energy to be stagnated. So to way to move it and not trap it in with us, especially if you are an energy you're trying to cleanse, we want to let it out. I know in nursing homes, once an individual transition to the up and beyond, they always open a window or a door so that their soul can like reach out. You want to think about that when we're smudging the energy in a room.
Absolutely. Going back to, remember we talked about that stagnant energy, right? So now you just woken up that stagnant energy with the sage. Where is it going to go? If you don't open those windows, you don't open those doors, it's gonna lay right next to you.
Right. So right it. Well, then
We're
on to an opposite effect. So, but thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Definitely with this sage, I also explained that sage is so good, and we also hear a lot about smudging and saging areas. But sage, again, like it's like an antibiotic. It cleans out all of that energy, right? And we sometimes need those good bacteria, and that's where Palo Santo comes in. It also puts in that good energy as well as like cleansing the area as well. You can do one or the other, but I love to accompany them both because once I clear something, I want to also pour in something good, right? You don't want to operate from an empty cup either. So keep the windows and doors open, and you want to Palo Santo, same places that we smudge. That's why Palo Santo and sage is really good, and it also accompanies decluttering. Remember, you want your home to or the room to be decluttered before you get to the sage and the Palo Santo.
And also, just to tag along with that too, these are like core things that we use in our Reiki session.
Yes, ma'am.
We will open a session with these to help also, like we were talking about earlier, start to break up that stagnant energy and call it back in the more high vibrational energy.
Right.
Yes. So with that being said, let's get into our quote. All right. Our quote for the day is actually inspired by, I feel like, a principle or like a proverb that I had growing up. And it would always come into mind for me when, let's say, we were trying to move into a new space, or a lot of times it was really that. And my mom would say, like, okay, God won't give me more than I can handle right now. So that's our quote for you guys today. Source will not give you more than you can handle.
I love that you use source and God interchangeably because, again, this is a safe place. We welcome wherever you kind of welcome to your
Absolutely.
So you want to use God, source, creator, anything interchangeably. Don't focus on the terminology, just more so the message.
Correct.
You don't want to get onto that nuance.
Correct. And I feel like I love that you said that. I feel like that's such an important thing. I know for me, I was an atheist in my early 20s. So for me, anytime that I heard the word God, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because, and mind you, I had grown up, in Catholic schools. My family is Baptist. So I definitely had a personal relationship with what I thought was God at the time. But again, when I was atheist, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So if we do use the word God and that's not what you personally believe in, just interject whatever you usually use, even if that might be your highest stuff, because I've been there too.
Absolutely. Again, take what you need, leave what you don't.
Take what you need, leave what you don't. That should have been a quote for today too, because that sounds like decluttering.
And opening that new energy, and what serves you. Again, what resonates with you. Like you want to always go for what resonates you. That's one of the reasons why decluttering became subject for us. Kind of getting yourself in a space where you feel the most connected with yourself and being the best version of yourself. Because it's not necessarily you. You are not the clutter. You are not the problem. How you live does not define who you are. Because sometimes that goes along with survival. Sometimes we get in that clutter moving, and we have all these things, and our environment is so like congested. Even when you think about individuals who struggle with hoarding.
I know that was coming because
I love my tea.
We see. Yeah. I literally but continue. Can you break down, Miss Therapist? Can you break down some sort of like the mental and maybe even the spiritual connection that might come with someone who hoards?
So in my personal and professional opinion, you would even see, I watch the show Hoarders all the time. I unfortunately haven't had a client that suffered with hoarding. However, I do use that same principle of usually when you're experiencing something that you aren't able to deal with in the moment, which is okay. You deal with things as it comes. You tend to get cling to the things, objects. Or like sometimes you don't realize those things stack up. If you're like in this like
tunnel vision.
Yes, and you're just focused on like I gotta survive, or I gotta get through this stuff, but oh, this is nice. You don't realize how those things like stack up. And avoiding uses that environmental attachment. And with that attachment, it's I can't deal with my problem. So in a way, it's escapism. I can't deal with my problem, but this object gives me comfort. I can't talk about what's going on with me, but these things give me comfort. Or they remind me of moments when things were okay.
That's a lot that I see.
Yeah, it's that nostalgia of
it's like the good old days when things were much better, like
when things made more sense.
Yes,
I can't control what's happening to me, but I can control holding on to this thing, right?
Yes.
So I always talk to clients about that, like if it's a reason why we have like these security blankets or these security things, because that's usually how it starts out. It starts out with one or two objects, and then it's like, I need this, and they most of the participant in the shows usually use that terminology. I need this. I don't know what I need it for, but I need it. Like, I need it for later, or somebody else might need it. And
like sense of security is tied to me having this item. Absolutely.
It can also be an
We're talking about an aromatic principle: as above, so below; as within, so without. Right? And I know that rings true for me because when my house is the messiest, when my room is the messiest, it's when I am the most anxious, when I am the most depressed, and when I feel like I'm in survival mode, heavy survival mode.
I feel like that can be relatable for us all. Again, when we are feeling in that fight or flight, or we're feeling like work is a lot, home is a lot, everything is a lot. Usually the house like suffers.
One thing we want y'all to take away from the episode, right? As within, so without. Your environment, 9 times out of 10, is going to mimic what you're feeling internally. What you're feeling internally is going to mimic your environment.
Absolutely. And to kind of piggyback from that, we want to also keep the theme that we kind of been like going vice versa from like that physical, that spiritual, and that mental element. All those things align. It's a holistic approach. That's the whole point about human race. It's
Yes.
If you're trying to figure out what are we doing, we're holistic healers. Period.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
I can't just tend to your mental, right? Because you have this body. You are a spirit at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
I can't just tend to your physical as a doctor or something because you have these other components to you as well.
Absolutely. And you see that in so many cases when you are doing therapy. I love to break it down, especially with most of my clients are kiddos right now. So my teens, my kids, I talk to their parents, and I even talk to them when it comes to coping tools. Like we always like balance out, like if you're feeling this way, what's a good tool to kind of like bring you down? What are we eating? Like what are we putting in our body? Okay, what does your room look like? Especially when they come in and like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know where to start. We can start with, well, does your room look how you feel? And sometimes like, yeah, it does. And it's like that light bulb going off, and it like kind of like sets the stage for us to go into that other work. But again, that holistic value of how we tend to ourselves, because we are our own doctors, we are our own medicine. So ways we can give ourselves external medicine is to make sure our physical, our mental, and our spiritual is aligning in our own pace. I want to say that. So don't rush yourself. This is your story.
Absolutely. And also too, as one of the staples in our friendship and our conversations too, right, is about that. The healing journey is not linear, right?
It's not.
You would think, right? Oh, I'm learning myself that much better. I'm getting so many more coping tools. I'm putting this down. I'm putting that down. I'm, walking in sobriety. You would think that things are going up and up, but that's not how life works.
Right. I'm getting older. You think that Right. I have more healthier people in my circle. Like I said, I'm doing coping stuff. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating healthy.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like empty? Because again, you have to balance out everything. And again, that also applies to that quote, as within, as without, as above, as below. So you want to make sure all those things are checking the box.
Yes.
And that's also a way you could check to see how you feel too. Because sometimes we don't know how we feel. But like that's always the goal. If I know how I feel, I can tell someone else.
Correct.
Or what I need, like, because sometimes we know what we need as a coping tool, but we're not able to like give it to ourselves.
We did not do something that is imperative. We did not check in.
We did not. So when I pause,
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I would say if I had to pick a word, I would say joy. If I'm gonna go in depth based off the emotion wheel, which is your friend,
Yes.
you can download an app and you also can get a feeling wheel. Again, if you know me, you know I swear by emotion wheel, which another therapist actually introduced that to me. I don't want to make her too shy, but she's a very smart woman. Her name is Isis. She introduced me to the emotion wheel. I live by it. So on the emotion wheel, it has the emotion joy. So to extend on that joy, I'm feeling optimistic, feeling very cheerful, feeling very safe.
Okay. Period.
What about you? How are you feeling, Aqua?
I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I took a little peek at her emotional will, but emotional will is something that I feel like I live by too in my profession. I did a lot of like social emotional learning with kids, a lot of restorative circles, and that's how we usually would start our circles off as well, like a check-in with how you're feeling today. And I would try to usually challenge my kids using something other than I'm okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, no, tell me an emotion. We're gonna use an emotion.
Right. That emotional language.
Yes. So I usually say I'm content, but I like joy. And then when I click joy, it brought me to some more adjectives I could use. And I want to say optimistic. Even when we were prepping for the podcast, it was weird, but it was like a good weird to see like, oh my God, we're actually behind the camera. Like,
Right.
we're actually doing something that we have been talking about for forever. So it just feels like, yeah, God just keeps sending them blessings in my lap, and I'm gonna just keep taking them and doing whatever I feel like needs to be done.
So I would say what came to mind as you were doing your check-in was the word surreal. I would say that's a feeling I
It is surreal.
Does that? Yeah.
That's
checks in
your
my
brain.
I love when she says that. That's an educational turn to eye.
Yes. That was surreal. Yes.
Yes,
It was very surreal.
Definitely surreal. I would say that is definitely an emotional word too. So as we're talking about decluttering, let's kind of give them an idea of some tips that we do in our personal.
Okay, miss, I just moved to a new city. So how did you declutter when you were moving?
That was a challenge. But I know myself. I know I'm a Pisces. I also know I struggle with letting go of things. I'm not a hoarder, I promise. Anybody that says I am, they're lying. Let it go. So one thing that I did was break down the tasks, and I started out planning it 3 weeks ahead. So I put in my notes and I shared it with my friends, and I started with 2 rooms at a time. Something that wasn't too overwhelming for me. If 2 rooms is too much to start with, or if your whole room is a hard thing to start with, I would say break it down, okay? Into something that's more feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another quote I use with clients is you cannot swallow the ocean, so you just take a cup at a time.
Did you get that? You can't swallow the ocean.
So you gotta take it a cup at a time.
You ain't never told me that.
I never told you that.
No.
Oh, now you know. I
never did that.
I told a lot of my clients that. They love it. They love it. And I love it because I love the ocean, us being water signs.
Yes.
But yes, breaking it down helped. Also, accountability buddies. That was something that you were very familiar with. Each week in each room had a new accountability buddy,
Which was fire. That was so smart. Did I do my job? No.
She was alright. She reminded me
2 out of 5 stars.
to where I was in my process. Even though she wasn't physically there as far as the task, she did a task. Don't let her downplay herself.
She gonna hype me up. I was trying. But she got it done without me.
Yes.
So that's a good thing too. Make sure your accountability buddy is gonna hold you accountable. Because if they're not, what's the point?
That's true. You can always find a new one. That's why there's several ones. Because life happens. I don't hold any grudges. And I also know, like, vice versa. Sometimes I agree to stuff and I'm like, what? But I agree to
Right, I did what now?
like, when I say that.
No, I feel like my week came too quick.
It did.
I feel like you put me third, and I'm like, oh, I got mad time. I'm like, wait, Shay here? Shit, that means I'm there next week.
Yeah, it did come very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I broke it down to smaller tasks. I planned it out ahead of time. I also look for other tips, like from people who moved or even on social media. Social media can sometimes be your friend. I'll talk about that later. But
What's one of you feel like something that made like you packing up or you moving very easy for yourself? You said your accountability buddy, you went room by room.
The schedule itself, when I strayed away from the schedule, I will be honest. She said it went smooth, it did not. So at the end, when I strayed away from my schedule, I did have a bit of a freak out, a bit of a panic attack, and needed to reset my energy because I strayed away from the original plan. So once straying away from the plan, instead of like kind of giving myself grace and returning back to that, that's something that I'm learning as well. Giving myself grace as well as giving others grace. And I feel like saying that is opposite of how it is. It's easy to give other people grace.
It is.
But when you turn the mirror around and try to give it to yourself, it's like swallowing an apple whole.
And it shouldn't be like that. But when you operate, I don't know, when I'm more perfectionist, I guess that's what you call it.
Oh, your inner critic is the loudest voice.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
I think that's what
Yes.
it is for a lot of individuals. I hope I'm not alone.
No.
But I don't think I'm alone. A lot of people can relate to your inner critic just being that loud voice. And most of the time, your inner critic is just your anxiety. And your anxiety lies to you.
It does. For its own safety, for its own sake, but sometimes you gotta realize or see beyond the smoke in the mirrors of your anxiety.
Right. But anxiety also can be good. Again, I feel like my anxiety grows because I strayed away from the original plan that I knew that I made that shaped who I was. But instead, I just like strayed away from it, knowing that this plan was a thing. So again, like instead of giving myself grace and going back on track, I just like went chaotic and my emotions went with me. So I would say the biggest tip was just like never throwing away the plan, even if it doesn't go as planned. Intention execution is not all the time.
Correct. That's a staple in our friendship as well. And like, it's nothing to hop back on the wagon.
Absolutely.
I know that's something for me because I sometimes struggle with giving myself grace. You do a good job of reminding me to give myself grace. But like for me, when it comes to like eating, you know, I try to be really disciplined when I'm eating until I'm not. But like I work a lot on just be like, okay, next morning, take your supplements. Like go to the gym. Ain't nothing to get back on the wagon.
Yes. Right. You can change the plan. You track the plan.
Yes.
Just don't smack the goal, especially
Yes.
because you set that goal for your future self. And that's something we was talking about earlier too.
We were
Yes.
doing stuff for your future self.
Yes. So that's definitely, and that was what the plan was for. So like, kind of going back, what do you feel like is very helpful to, as far as decluttering?
I feel like you just took the words out of my mouth. That's what we were talking about it earlier because I'll admit I struggle with discipline just because I feel like growing up I was high achieving. I really didn't have to put in a lot of effort if I'm gonna be honest. But the flip side to that is you don't learn a lot of discipline doing that, right? So I feel like it took me 30 fucking years to start implementing a lot of discipline in my life. And what motivates me to do that is I feel like I had a lot of times in the past where I done fucked up and I was like, damn, why did I wait till the last minute?
Right.
Or why didn't I do this earlier?
Absolutely.
And so now I don't want to feel like that. So I want to make my future self feel that much better of mine or proud of my past self and get that shit done. And I feel like that's a big symptom of people who, you know, struggle with their reward system or might experience some sort of neurodivergent. Because our reward systems are wired a little bit different.
I feel like individuals who struggle with neurodivergent or a diagnosis of ADHD or being on the spectrum, accountability buddies is something that is really helpful. Like having someone just be there as a physical body, even if they don't say anything, even if they just are the DJ and the music. That's another tip that.
Yes, set the vibe. Your feng shui.
Yes, feng shui.
Feng shui.
You
For
definitely
real.
want to set the vibe.
Light your candles, set your favorite playlist, get you a glass of wine, whatever is gonna put you in the mood.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Again, that accountability person can help with the setting that vibe, and also if that person is just on the phone, you can also have
Correct.
that. Just knowing someone is there on the other end sometimes motivates you in that external way that helps with that internal motivation.
You know what I'm gonna say? I mean, I'm gonna call you.
Oh,
Call your homegirl that you know she could go on for hours about anything. That's
yes.
Buddha for me.
Yes.
I'm gonna call her and it's gonna be, damn, it's 5 o'clock already and my room is clean and what else?
Right. You know, they came here to talk.
They do. They do. The big bucks said that.
Right. They came here to talk. But and it's so easy to talk to you because we know each other very intimately and we can go from subject to subject, and we are very graceful with like going from those different subjects and then returning back.
Because we're not emergent together, but I agree though. We always find our way back.
We'll always find a way. One of us always brings us back. Again, accountability buddy. I'm telling you, that's the secret gem.
That was kind of how this podcast got started too, though.
Yeah.
Because it was like, damn, somebody else besides the flies on the wall. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And just also witness the vibe. Like, and that's really the goal for Rooted and Rising. Getting vibes and having dialogue and conversation that feels natural to not just us, but anyone who wants to join in on our party. And while you're doing that, we root ourselves and we are rising as individuals of the collective.
I heard what she said. Our relationship as two young women, not to say that it's not founded, but it's very
Right.
rare.
Yes.
Especially where we come from, it's very rare.
Right. And when you say rare, I love that word because I'm sure it's other women and other people who are having these conversations who aren't safe enough to feel like other people are thinking what they're thinking, or other people care to hear that depth, especially when we are in that era where we're surface level, we're operating on that surface. So when it comes to individuals who get in depth, they're like, what are you talking about?
Shit.
We're here. We want to listen.
Real shit.
We want to talk about it. Like,
And we know that y'all want to talk about that shit too, because I feel like, I know I can speak for you. Because you are you say you overshare, but you are a very transparent person. But I know for me, early in my spiritual journey, there were so many things going on internally and outside in the world. Outside of you and Malcolm, I feel like literally nobody could understand kind of what was unfolding within me.
definitely.
So I'm glad I had y'all for real, for real.
Well, thank you.
No, you know that.
You don't want to cry. We don't want to cry today. I'm an ugly cry. It's not even cute.
Second.
But I appreciate that. Definitely. And again, like, that goes a lot with feeling safe. Feeling safe enough to make someone feel safe as well. Like, it's not like you rejected, or it's not like you feel judged. So your safety also makes it feel safe enough to give you that safety. If that makes sense.
It do. It does.
So, you know, I love the snap.
I do. That was took though, because I cannot show you me if you ain't show me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody
Yes.
gotta, again, mask off. Fucking mask off.
And this is a place where we are going to be very transparent and taking that mask off, because that's where, again, that anxiety lives. It feeds off of having that mask. It feeds off of that inner critic. It feeds off of that imbalanced energy or stagnated energy that we don't deal with. Like,
Real shit.
so I feel like creating a platform that welcomes that, and that conversation, I feel like is an honor, honestly.
It really is. Because, I mean, I know this is not really on topic of what we're talking about in the episode, but I feel like we had such a struggle with imposter syndrome.
Yes. That is definitely, we're definitely gonna spend some time talking about what that is.
Future episodes, yes.
Yes.
But like, just to see us doing something like this right now, really walking in our truths again.
No.
Surreal.
It really is
Surreal.
it really is so surreal. Yes, feeling word. Feeling language. It's absolutely surreal. And it absolutely is something that, like you said, it's off topic, but it's also on topic because you gotta think about it. When we show this mask and we are resetting and we are decluttering, it's usually to like strengthen that mask. I would invite you to witness yourself by actually decluttering and actually looking at this item. Why am I so attached to this thing? Why am I having a hard time letting go? Why do I find myself back at the threshold of having to declutter so often? Or why do I spend so much time not decluttering? Because those things kind of goes in hand with that imposter syndrome. That's one of the reasons why we feel like I'm an imposter in my own body. It is because we don't keep it real with ourselves. Like, really good. One of my friends always say, like, you can only keep it real with me as much as you keep it real with yourself. And I live by that. I tell clients that in session. Like, you can tell me whatever you want on this end, but like, just understand that this is your process. So as real as you want to get, as deep as you want to get, you are in the driver's seat. I'm only witnessing and having this experience with you. So that's just something you want to invite yourself to, without thinking about that external or that environmental pressure. Don't do it just because lunar waves is suggesting this declutter. Do it because it's your time. And I will say that if this podcast found you, it's your
time. It is your time. Divine timing.
To make room for new things. That's what you want.
Yes.
To make room for
You cooking right now, Bess. I'm not just saying that. You cooking right now.
Don't do me, but yes. Yeah.
Y'all heard her. Y'all heard her.
Which also brings me to our pop culture. Did you want to start with your story?
But can we start back a little bit?
Bring it back.
With welcoming in the new energy, right? I got a tip for y'all.
Yes.
With welcoming in the new
Yes.
Right?
How could we forget it?
So it's best to do this on maybe like the first of the month or the first Sunday of the month. By the time you guys see this episode, those have already passed. So the next Sunday that's coming up, you're gonna get some cinnamon. You're gonna go outside.
Yes.
Sprinkle the cinnamon in your hand. And you're gonna blow it into your house.
Yes.
Before you blow it into your house, actually, you're gonna whisper whatever intention you would like go over the cinnamon. I usually do money comes to me, abundance comes to me, prosperity comes to me, or I attract prosperity, whatever you would like.
I'm a money magnet.
I'm a money magnet. Do your favorite money lyric that you have. Right? Whatever you would like. Anything that makes you feel like the bag is coming to you. All right? Then you're going to blow that cinnamon to your house.
Love fairy dust.
Then you're going to shake that cinnamon over everybody that lives in the house. And you're going to end with yourself last, okay? That furthers, the energy of the abundance and the prosperity.
Because we want to share the wealth.
Share the wealth. Yes.
Yes.
And I feel like rituals, right? It's kind of like your dreams. Do your dreams make sense? A lot of the times, no, but it's a way that your spirit is speaking into your mind. So when you're doing something like a cinnamon blowing ritual, it's you speaking to your higher spirit and calling in for that higher abundance, ultimately from source, from the divine, from the creator, whatever you would like to follow.
It must be a kitchen because you're cooking too fast. Shut it up.
I'm cooking shit up quick.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you have for us today that you want us to check out?
All the pop culture, we're just gonna find like things in the world and culture out there, movie, songs that relate. So today I have a movie for you. The homework that I assigned to clients was a movie called Over the Moon. So Over the Moon, it's her father, her mother. At the beginning of the movie, her mother gets ill and eventually passes away. And of course, as all things, her father eventually finds another partner because he moves on with life. The young lady is having a hard time. I think her name's Faye or something like that.
Okay.
The young lady's having a hard time with letting go. One of the things that she's holding on to is a mythological story her mom told her about a queen that lives on the moon. Without giving too many details, she eventually travels to the moon with her stepbrother, which was not planned, but they travel to the moon and she meets this queen who's also struggling with letting go of a grief of an individual. And when they meet up, it's a big scene that's very emotional, but very powerful. I don't know who depicted that film, but they did. And she kind of discusses why it's important to let go. Why it's important to, in that grieving process, to accept letting go. Not to forget that person, not to erase that person, not to replace that person, because she's feeling like her dad is trying to replace mom. But that's not the case. He's just trying to learn to move forward in life. So she's welcoming her and inviting her to move forward in the film. And I think that's very important. And that kind of aligns with our decluttering because, again, like I said, sometimes you have to let go of certain items to welcome in those little things. And also, with place quotes.
Stories won't give you more than you can handle. What were the reviews from your kiddos?
A lot of them. My clients enjoyed the movie. Even the ones who are stubborn. I think that the animation, it was a little music, the comic relief, it was very well placed and tasteful. And again, we spent the next session processing what that part meant to them and how that aligned to them. So it was very personable, kind of bringing it back to like, how can I relate this to my story? So it was very nice. And it was times where we moved on to our therapeutic relationship and we referred back to the movie.
Okay.
And also in that way.
All right, so if y'all want to watch club, if y'all want to over the moon watch club, kind of like, a book club, let us know in the comments. Comment over the moon if you would like us to do a watch club.
Yes.
Because then that will give me a reason to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I invite you.
Okay, thank you.
Very invitation.
That would get invitation.
Yes, and you're gonna invite. Well, yes. What about your pop culture?
Okay, so my pop culture is just a little story, I guess, for you guys.
Yes. Nice story time.
I'm gonna turn on my educator voice. The hand that clutches cannot receive. Only when the fists soften into an open palm can something new be placed within it. We hold tight to what we know, out of fear, out of habit, but life does not move through closed doors. Letting go is not loss, it is space. And in that space, something greater can arrive. Not always what we expected, but often what we needed.
I know that's something that helped in the past for me. Sometimes throwing away an item helped me transition that relationship in my physical environment.
Yes, I love that you said transition too. Because not that it's gone, but it's just transformed in a way.
Right.
Best friend, what time is it?
It's definitely journal time.
Journal party time. All right, take out your journal, take out your phone, the note app of your phone. We got some prompts for y'all.
Yes, and let's get into it.
Yes.
Let's start with our first quote because we have 4 today, right?
Yep.
Our first journal prompt today that we want to keep in mind is, if my mind were a room, what would it look like right now? And describe in detail what that would look like.
Would it be spotless?
Would it be chaotic?
Would it be chaotic?
Would it be a little bit of both? A little organized and boring, a little chaotic on the inside? What do you have next?
Our next journal prompt. How do I feel when I enter a clean, organized space? How do I feel when I enter the clutter room? For me, as I stated earlier in the episode, that is a big motivating factor for me when it comes to decluttering and cleaning up my home. How do I want to feel in the future, right? How do I want to feel when I enter my room or when I enter my home?
Yes. For number 3, is it a specific object or space that triggers stress or overwhelming feelings? What story does it carry? So maybe it's a blanket in your room. I love a blanket, so I'm sorry.
She does.
Is it a blanket in your room? Is it a hoodie that you know you don't have no business having? Is it a t-shirt that's from childhood? Remember we talked about earlier, you have things that you had.
Yes, middle school, literally, 5th grade, literally. Like, again, what kind of energy has that accumulated over the years?
Right, and that kind of can help with, like, do I even want this in my space, or am I just keeping it for that nostalgia? Or why are you keeping it for that nostalgia? Can you recreate that moment as an adult? Or is it another way you can kind of honor your inner child? Because when it comes to items like that, I feel like it's your way of honoring that little child that's always with you.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good point, too, maybe finding other ways that you can still honor the inner child within. I feel like that's a great point. Write that down. All right, the last journal prompt for the day is, what is one small thing I can let go of today? It could be physically, it could be mentally, that will create a ripple of clarity.
Right. Because again, the key is to declutter and remember as within, as without, you want to keep that in a balanced state. And also, I feel like it aligns with starting small, because if you start with one thing, but oh, that wasn't as hard as I thought.
Absolutely. And then too, remember, we're trying to create space for more blessings and more abundance, right? Source will not give you more than you can handle. So if it already looks like, oh, we're at maximum capacity, how can you receive any more blessings?
Absolutely.
Start making space.
Yes. Okay. I love the journal party. I'm excited for the feedback.
Yes, leave some comments. If you really like this episode, send it to whoever is on the same, vibe as this. We have a saying, right? One force, one source. I'm sorry I said that all episode. But this is really an awakening, right, guys? We're entering a new age of enlightenment for a lot of us.
Right.
And I know we talk about it all the time too. Well, not all the time, but you say, right? What do you just say? Like the awakenings?
We're always reawakening.
Right. Because you would be sometimes like, oh, my first awakening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I feel like people in the audience might be watching are finally opening their eyes for the first time.
Right. Or reopening your eyes.
Again. Or cleaning them eyes up. Because that's how I am.
Definitely need to, if you gotta go to the vision doctor often, you definitely gotta go with your first eye. So. Yes. Definitely that reawakening is necessary and needed. And, never be afraid to bring someone along in your tribe. Also explore to a different tribe, because as you reawakening, that's also a new version of you. It's
absolutely.
Like a rebirth.
It is. It is. And sometimes the tribe that you currently have, they're not going to be used to seeing that other version of you. So try to find people that make you feel like, okay, this isn't weird, or this isn't out of the ordinary. Because I feel like our friendship definitely helped me with that.
Yeah.
Especially, I would say, maybe 7-8 years ago. Where I just feel like an alien, Yeah. I wouldn't put in those words at the time, but that's why I was so isolated. And that's why I was so closed off with the world, because I couldn't find a lot of people in my circle having the same thought patterns and ideas that I was having at the time.
Yes, and I absolutely agree. I think that's the beauty in being best friends, and also moving to the co-founders and becoming young women up to women, now to full adulthood. Decades. It definitely helped to have a village that grows with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. It was nice. This was our first one. It was a good. You did well.
You did well too. Bitch, you did a good job.
That's my thing.
Alright, so check in with us next Monday for episode 2. What is episode 2 going to be about?
Episode 2 is going to be about our physical detox.
Yes, so we talked about cleaning up the environment. Now let's talking about cleaning out what's in, right?
Right.
As within, so without. We went without, so now we about to go with it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
Cut.